recently you've expanded your coverage of solo small firms and also technology. Why did you do that?
Well, I think we started off initially, almost 10 years ago, focused very much on large firms. But we came to the realization that should have been obvious, demographically, the vast majority of US lawyers work as solo practitioners or in small firms. And so we felt an important need to serve that market. And the other thing we are covering a lot is technology. Technology is transforming the way that lawyers practice. It's transforming the way they deal with their clients. And if you're covering the law and the legal profession, which is what we do, but not covering legal technology, you're doing something wrong.
I want to know if you think that attorneys are going to be replaced by robots, as some legal futurists are predicting.
Some tasks that lawyers do can be automated, and if they can be automated, they should be automated. But there are certainly skills that require both personal skills, coaching as in like helping a client go through their legal issue, which is often a personal issue, an emotional issue. Those sorts of things, it's harder to imagine how that's going to work. And then, as we know from Star Trek, there are actually litigators in the future. So pretty sure, androids aside, robots aren't going to be replacing lawyers anytime soon.
What are your top 3 tips for lawyers to help improve their online presence?
Sure, and I think we need to pull back a little bit and zoom out and remember that it's really important that you focus on great client service, because that's like the foundation of all of your marketing in general, offline and online. But if you think about it, if you're providing remarkable client service, you're going to have things like people going online and leaving you reviews, more people wanting to connect with you. If you're publishing things, you might earn some media attention or highlight your good works with local community organizations. And that stuff is a great way to position yourself online. That's the kind of things people expect to see when they go to look for you online.
Do you think that the fact that Microsoft has done that is going to help make lawyers more comfortable or move into the cloud a little more quicker?
I think in time they're getting there. You know, it's a different model for a lot of them. There's a lot of, gosh, I hate to use the word paranoia, but fear a little bit about security and privacy. And so I think there are some concerns there, but I think gradually as they get to understand it better, they're starting to feel more comfortable with it. And it does help that major companies like Microsoft are putting out products that are accessible, that they can understand and that they can get to without having to have a computer science degree.
Right.
Yeah. So I talk to a lot of lawyers who are starting their practice, sometimes right out of law school, and I usually tell them 2 things. The first is you want to spend the bulk of your time on marketing, because most of them don't have a built-in book of business or client base. The second thing I tell them, and you're going to like this, is moving forward, when you get busy enough, you got to have a case management system.
Absolutely.
Or some kind of organizing principle for your practice. I see a lot of firms who I have to audit who've gotten in trouble with our state ethics board, and like 99 times out of 100 it's an organizational issue. And I think case management solves for a lot of those problems that lawyers have.
Client communication is so important. Can you tell me why it's so important and some of your top tips to help lawyers improve their communication with their clients?
Sure. One, clients can be a great source of referrals, right? So you want to make sure you're communicating with them often enough. And the other thing is that, obviously clients can complain and they can sue you for malpractice.
Right.
So you need to be, doing that right. I just did a session on web conferencing. Okay. And so I think web conferencing also is a great way to stay in touch with your clients on a more regular basis, because you don't have to spend that time and the money traveling to see your client, and you can have these meetings more frequently just by using a really easy program like Join Me or Zoom or Google Hangouts or Skype, anything like that. You can actually do it right from your phone.
What do you think is the top legal technology trend for 2016?
I'm really interested in analytics. The last year saw the acquisition of Lex Machina by LexisNexis. That in itself is significant, I think, but the ability to take data that's already been kind of available to lawyers for a long time and to slice and dice it in ways that you get insights into cases and research and billing and competition and all sorts of things that you just didn't have before.
Can you tell me your top 3 tips for lawyers to improve their LinkedIn profile and help them achieve the goals they've set for LinkedIn?
Sure. So 3 things that you could do to make your profile more complete. I think the first one is the professional headline, which is like your title. Instead of saying just attorney, to really describe what it is you do, what's your practice area. And the second thing is to make sure that your summary is complete. A lot of lawyers just skip over that section. I look at it as almost like the cover letter to the rest of your resume that really pulls everything together, talks about your clients and what you can do for them. And then the third thing is LinkedIn really lets you add media now. So you can add video and photographs and audio and documents, presentations. So I think those three things will really make your profile stand out as a lawyer and look much more professional.
I don't know how you can manage today's modern practices without having some sort of practice management software. I mean, I think you can look at this at a couple of different levels. First of all, I can remember the last time I saw a professional liability policy for attorneys that didn't demand to know that you had some sort of redundant calendaring system. And it gives you the opportunity to start to automate phases of your practice in such a way that you can more profitably run that practice, particularly in a world where I think it's just a matter of time before more and more of lawyers' work becomes done on a client demand basis, on a flat fee basis. And if you don't have an efficient means of getting work done and having digital tools help you complete that work, the opportunity to compete and survive in the business of law is going to be gone if you don't invest in these kinds of tools.
What do you think the top technology trends are that lawyers need to be aware of in 2016?
Well, definitely at this point, some kind of practice management. I know it's been on the scene for a long time, but and there are a lot of different options. So definitely that. I think also things to look at that are more on the horizon are different things that are being done with data analytics. There are again a lot of practice areas like Social Security law where you can get a lot of data to look at trends, and I think that there are companies that are starting to capitalize on that and make predictive analysis, and I think that's really important for solos and smalls to be able to share with their clients and also use to market themselves.